Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
ladies.
Hi,
Hello,
Rob.
Good
ladies.
Hi,
evening.
Kat.
How are you?
How are you guys today?
Buhay pa rin. Buhay pa rin.
I'm good. I'm good.
Alive and kicking.
Alive and kicking.
The vegan stuff is doing you well, no?
Oh. How sad wala lang akong ka-share eh. Wala akong ka-share eh. Vegan
Oh,
life.
Rob, you should take B12.
No,
Why,
we will
why?
tell you later.
Meron kaming insider info. Anyway,
No,
Really?
please don't. Mamaya,
Yeah, no,
I'll
but
tell you.
I should take B12. B12
You
and
sure?
omega-3 are the supplements to add.
and iron.
Malakas ang
Oh, sure.
B12 intake ko.
Talaga?
Huh?
I'm trying to keep a straight face. Yes, a lot of discoveries about about
Yes.
B12.
Share.
Good
Hey,
evening, guys.
I like our pink background today. It's
Yeah, I
because
changed it for this topic because we are
Oh,
doing
nice.
a
Perfect.
really interesting girls to men. So last week we did, Rob's boys to men,
Wait
and
lang.
it was interesting. It took a very interesting turn,
that
and
was the most engagement I think we had.
I think so. Like people loved all of Rob's questions, and now we're doing a girls to women naman. So
Yun.
other half of the coin. So it'll be interesting because like diba, for women sa atin, like once you kind of get your period, that's when you like enter womanhood supposedly, but not really. In terms of
Not
mindset, you
really.
can still be a girl or a child, in a woman's body, and there are
Exactly.
couple, right
Nako.
things that led us up to that. And since Rob has volunteered to be the specialist in all things
Specialist
women,
ako dyan.
I'm looking
Huh?
forward sa input mo mamaya.
Oo, specialist ako.
Oh
Where
my
where are the
god.
credentials, Rob? I want to see the list.
Credentials? Jeez. Oh my
Oh my
God.
god. Ang kulit, ang kulit.
Masaya nito, masaya to.
Masaya to. Okay, let's start. So good evening. Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening.
Welcome to Mindset Matters. My name is Kat Ranyases. I am a life coach. I am joined by my lovely friends for date night, my pod squad. There is Rob Kengson, our chef and educator, and Rika Hernandez, our lovely yogi / content creator.
Yun.
So yeah, it's been a while. Parang feeling ko like these Wednesdays are, parang patagal ng patagal.
Oo.
I don't know. I don't know if like the week is just like really, really slow, or I don't know if it's just, if
Yeah.
we've just kind of been in our own kind of worlds for the past week. So parang ngayon ko lang talaga kayo nakausap.
I know,
Pahaba
right?
ng
We would
pahaba.
we would like talk to each other every day.
Yeah,
And this
exactly.
month was kind of lonely.
Well, yeah, sorry. I've been going through some health issues. I have like the lowest BP ever, and I've been
How come?
asleep. It's stress, I think, and I
Oh,
guess pandemic, whatever is happening. So yeah, I think it was like down to like 80/20, and then 50/20 last week. So I've been asleep and just trying to recuperate for this week. Feeling like I grew an entire inch from just sleeping.
That's so
What are you guys?
crazy.
tulog pa more, guys. Tulog pa more. Let's hope it grows another inch.
Here's to hoping.
Wag na, sobra na eh. Joke.
It's about women today, huh?
Oo, pala. That's
Yeah.
right.
So today, yes, let's go back to the topic before I get distracted naman with Rob. So today
Oh.
we're talking about girls to women, and Eric says I remember seeing Rick's preteens. What did she look
Yeah.
like?
Oh God. I
I
look
want
like
to
this.
know.
Eric, look. Ayan ako.
Wow,
Yun,
can I
no?
see? Cute.
Cute, parang siopaw. Yeah, because Eric and I used to go to school when we were in grade school.
Aw.
So, ayan. Eric, am I
Sweet.
a woman now? Oh, diba?
Please confirm or
Woman,
deny.
Miss,
woman
I
time.
need validation.
So yeah, so I guess I'll ask the guy the first question. So Rob, for you, based on your
Hmm.
experience, your wide array of experiences,
Oh,
what does it
pare, what? My
what does
wide
it
or my wild? My wide or my wild?
both, both experiences? What does it mean for
Damn.
you when you say a woman is a woman compared to when you know you're with a girl lang?
Women should know what they want because these young girls, it's wishy washy.
Mm.
Can't make up their mind. They don't know what they want. And I'm not talking about just relationships here. No, direction in life,
Mm.
what they're comfortable with, what their boundaries are, what they're willing to put up, and what they're not willing to put up with. What's a
Mm.
good man? What's a good man? But obviously, diba, it takes some experience because there's this belief in gastronomy
Mm-hmm.
that one's palate is only completely full as they reach 30 years old. It's because it's impossible to have tasted so much different things. So I
Yeah.
believe, just like men and women, you have to have that wealth of experience that gives you the XP experience points, badges of character. Yon. You got to know what you want, and it's got to be you got to have some good life experience. Diba? Hindi pwedeng puro lipstick lang, side boob here, ganyan. Wala yan.
This is based on what, Rob? Based on
It's just based on my experience. This is based on my experience.
okay.
Wow.
In high
So
school, I couldn't get a date. I couldn't get a date in high school. It was so
really,
tough. Yeah. And
I
then,
can't reason.
I don't know. But then, oh yeah, it's based on experience. I have a lot of female friends, so they open. I am part of some female barcadas.
Mm.
Ever since I got separated, no. So I learned a lot about women. Like, for example, this is one female barcada that I
Yeah.
have,
Yeah. Yeah.
outnumbered 2-1. Yeah, no. So I learned a lot, and yeah, I
Mm.
share it. Yes.
Interesting. You have no choice at this point.
Yeah, direction,
The-
basically knowing what you want out of life.
yeah,
Diba?
I agree.
You cannot be swept with the tide. Some people, they get swept with the tide, left, go right.
Mm.
That's just not being an adult. That's not being an adult.
I agree.
It's like a feather in the wind.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Yan, what
Ayun.
about you?
I think what makes a woman, I mean, I agree with Rob. Like, she's got to know what she wants. And um, I mean, she's like a result of all the choices she's made from the past, whether they were good or not. Like, she's learned from the lesson. So, in other words, I think what makes a woman is wisdom, because it's not wasting those life experiences and kind of like not learning from them, diba? So, definitely you gotta be wise, and then what else, you gotta know how to use your power and your strength. You gotta know how to say no, things like that. I think what makes a woman really a woman is when she wakes up and realizes that, hey, I'm a woman, I'm not a girl anymore. And if I do want to go back and turn on my girly playful side, I can do that when I want, but I can always turn it off. And I think
Mm.
that's like a powerful thing, because it's nice to also be playful, diba? I mean, we all need to play around with each other also, but yun nga, you just know when it's like, okay, not today, or not right now. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's one
Yeah,
thing.
I agree. Agree. I think for me, I think it's all of the above. Everything you said, everything Rob said. I think I'd like to add as well, like a woman is also somebody who is independent. Like hindi ka umaasa sa ibang tao.
Mm-hmm.
You can make your own money, or like how to hustle. I
Yeah.
think a woman as well like knows how to communicate. Like none of that tampo bullshit.
Yeah.
You leave it to the guy to try to figure you out. Like if you really love me, dapat alam mo kung ba't ako nagtatampo sa'yo ngayon. You know what I mean? And I think another one is like a woman should be in touch with her sexuality as well. Like
I
she
agree.
knows what she wants, and she knows, like Rob said, she knows where her boundaries are. She knows how to ask for it, and she's not people pleasing. Like she knows this is a fucking give and take relationship.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing,
Yeah.
Rob?
Kasi
Ah,
based
yung
on
mga boundaries
experience
na
na
yan.
naman siya.
Oo. Yun yung maganda eh. Yan ang maganda dyan.
What, the boundaries?
Or
Oh,
the
the boundaries.
experience.
Mm. I'm curious, Rob, for you, because with a lot of guys, I noticed they like to test boundaries, or they either like to test boundaries, or like they like to assume that there aren't any boundaries.
No, those are just stupid guys.
That's that's
That's
true.
true.
Sorry, it's the truth. Diba? For
Yeah.
someone to imagine that there's no boundaries, my gosh, how immature and stupid can you be?
Oh,
Diba?
tell me about
And
it.
there
Oh my
are there are a
goodness.
lot of 30 and 40 and even 50-year-old people who have still to reach adolescent on the emotional quotient side. My gosh.
Yeah, that is so
Diba?
sad.
That is
Oh,
true. And that's what's been interesting. Like I think especially like with women as well, because I think say growing up, like we mentioned the previous episode about like with women, like we are always kind of been taught like to be a lot more mature than guys. Right? The guys growing up, like, you guys do whatever the hell you want. And the moms and the dads are always super protective of the girls in the family, right? Bawal lumabas, bawal magka-boyfriend, ang daming bawal.
hmm.
And I think like for some reason that kind of puts women in a different mindset throughout adolescence. But then there are a lot of women as well who kind of don't grow from that. I think like I have friends, like I went to an all girls college, and I have friends there who they were super masunurin, they were super responsible, they did exactly what their parents wanted, wag muna magka-boyfriend, to the point that they didn't even socialize with guys in general. And then when they graduated from college, they didn't know how to interact with the opposite sex at all, and they
Yeah,
didn't know
that's
how to approach relationships, and they didn't know how
puro
to talk to.
pa-cute na lang. Like, di ba? It's puro
Yeah.
pa-cute na lang.
Or like if a guy is just being nice, for them they're super paranoid kasi feeling nila, oh my god, like he likes me now, like what's
Oh my
happening?
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that, like they weren't able to mature as I guess as fast as they should have, compared to I guess the pasaway ones who knew how to interact with the opposite sex kahit sabi ng mommy nila na like bawal or whatever. I'm just curious, like
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
Mine?
Yeah, you and Rika's.
Mine? Oh, you, Rika, you first. Or me first.
Well, I could go first. Well,
Sige.
I mean, we're talking about school, diba? Like during the grade school, high school times.
Yeah, your high school, even college, right? Like we have this belief system that I don't know if you had it, but my parents were like, I know they were all about bawal muna magka-boyfriend hanggat hindi ka pa graduate.
Yeah. I kind of got that, although it wasn't as emphasized because I think it's because my parents were not very super duper duper strict when it came to that, but they didn't talk about it with me as often as I think they should have because they were always working, so I didn't have guidance when it came to boys, and I learned how to be like a girl or not a woman, obviously, because high school from the it girls, from the popular girls in
Ah,
school.
the it
So
girls.
yeah, they
Mm.
loved to kind of take me and train me. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah. They want to
So
mold you into their mold, fit you into their mold.
yeah, make them parang your minion or your or their duplicate, 'di ba? So I
Mm,
learned I watched those it girls be the way they are, and for me it's just it wasn't in me to be like them na parang very flirty, very feminine because I grew up with four kuyas who they're just very guyish. And so I
yeah,
was
Oh,
in between, I was like, I'm definitely not um
a girly girl.
tomboy, but I'm not a girly girl. So I always just observed and watching the girly girls do what they do. I'm like, wow, ang galing
what do
naman
they
nila.
do?
Like
What
they've
do the girly girls do?
push up bra, everything.
Oh, okay, okay.
Get the
Yeah,
guys. Everything. Yeah.
Get the guys, and then they taught me pa na parang, oh, that was my boyfriend last week, and then next week it was a different na naman. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that how? Is that what makes a girl attractive when you're that wanted? I don't know. I just watched through high school and college that way, and then the
Uh,
sexy stuff. It was very superficial. Nothing
Yeah.
had to do with
the
intellect.
brain.
Yeah, most of those girls didn't have good grades actually. It wasn't important.
Oh. No, but being attractive is important for women.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It is.
But
It's one of the top priorities, diba? But I think
yes.
maybe if I may to stick to our topic, the way that you go about being attractive, it's what separates the girls from the ladies, diba? Because there are these infamous rather, Instagram accounts that all they do to get likes is just try to bear as much skin as possible. But
Uh-huh.
then you think, no, what kind of sad individual is this that they have to go through lengths for the only metric that they can understand, which is likes and comments and followers,
Mhm.
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah.
And then you'll see, like for example, female teen suicide is the highest it's ever been
Yeah.
in the
Wow.
US because
Yeah.
they're so into social media, diba? So yeah, they'll twerk for likes, they'll show their side boob for likes,
Yeah.
diba? They'll take a picture na kunyari it's not about their cleavage, but their cleavage is 60% of the freaking frame, diba? So
60%.
parang like,
That's a big percent.
60%. But basically, parang I think no, it's when it's the reason or their why of how to be attractive and how they go about it. And wala, they're digging a grave for themselves, eh, diba? And
I think
that's why diba?
mm, I think it's also
Yeah,
a matter of self-esteem. Like, a lot
yeah,
of
low
women do
self.
that for attention because they don't get it where they want to get it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
think like growing up then, like I experienced the same kind of high school thing that the Rika experienced. Like entering high school, status quo is important. I guess, like to a certain degree. Like I remember like yeah, being a girl in high school, like I came here from the Emirates for as a freshman in high school, and I remember just being so culture shocked over how like mature the girls are here. Like
Oh,
how like I remember like oh my god, like dressing up and having face powder and going to the banyo every after every class was like a thing. Um
Yeah. Oh my god.
right, and I remember as well like like yeah, like I would have girls who would like try to like have me join their barkada or whatever, but I just like I was such a tomboy growing up, like I still am, but like I couldn't relate because a lot of their cuento was about like getting the next guy who likes them. Well,
Uh
basically, they kind of got in with whoever. There's one incident with one of those friends, kind of like she had braces, her boyfriend had braces, and they ended up in the clinic because apparently those things can like stick together.
yikes.
Right,
Yep.
it's kind of interesting, but then like as I kind of grew up and kind of stepped back from what happened to me in high school, yeah, I realized that a lot of those girls they were looking for love and appreciation that I don't think they got at home. So
right.
they wanted it, we wanted it with friends, And, you know, I guess during that time, like having a boyfriend was, you know, like the ultimate form of like attention and being attractive. Um, so that's kind of what we got, right? Like I don't know kung nauso sa inyo, but like sa amin, like if a guy had like, you know, like a blue ribbon package or a box of a gigantic stuffed teddy from Blue Ribbon, like, you know that, oh my god, he's going to like propose to somebody and stuff like that. And it was a huge deal. And to see the girl lugging around that poor teddy bear that was practically her size, that was the thing. um right.
Blue
And I remember,
magic.
right? And I remember I was like, I don't wonder what's wrong with me. Like I've never had that before. And then, you know, like looking at the girls, I'm like, so like, do I need to be girly? And then I look around and I'd be like, do I want any of the guys anyways? No, not really.
Oh man. Just
But
listening to you is like bringing back like high school memories.
right.
Yeah.
Rob I think you went to an all boys.
I went to all boys, and then high school I went to co-ed.
Was it
so how
parang a shock to transfer?
Dude. Okay, I'm gonna tell you one
You-
example that I
you-
can never forget. First year high school, Ateneo. Okay.
mm,
Oh, this is how bad it was. First year high school in Ateneo. There were some 2 or 3 girls from Miriam College, no, Maryknoll, Miriam, and they were
yeah.
walking towards the president's office, no, in their green skirts and beige off-white tops. And then when our class got a look at them, and I was 1J, no. Basically, kasi the lower the letter, I think the lower the intelligence.
Jay!
Yeah, J. It's like pasang-awa lang yung mga J eh. 1J, parang gano'n.
Last na ba yung Jay?
Ay, yeah. So get this, no? My gosh, the moment we saw the girls, some of my classmates got up on the window facing the girls, and there were grills, and they would go like monkeys.
Yeah.
Bakit?
Wala, nagpapapansin lang. And because the Ateneo boys didn't know how to, dude, we didn't know how. No one taught us how, diba?
How to act?
Our whole career growing up in grade school,
No women.
the
Or
hottest
girls.
women were some of the teachers, you know? They were some of the teachers. I can't forget that, though. And then when I went to Cosca, which was co-ed. You know, I really had to learn how to assimilate in a social group with females. No?
Mhm.
Oh, it was fun, but yeah, I could get out. It's so hard for me to get a date back then.
Why not?
I don't know. I think because I was like I was the biggest I ever was, and then I was also I was insecure.
Mm.
Tapos
Feels like you're-
bloom ka. You bloomed in
Hindi pa kasi
college.
ganun kalaki yung ano ko eh. Yung EQ ko. My EQ. My
Your
EQ.
Tama nga naman.
Ngayon,
So last-
sobrang laki na.
So in the past years lang lumaki yung EQ mo. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, ngayon medyo buo na ang EQ ko. Gets ko na. But yeah, you know, it's very sad because I think people should teach us.
Yeah.
The older generation should teach the younger generation how to be the right man and the right woman.
Yeah.
But
For
there's
sure.
no lesson in that. There's
Exactly.
zero lesson in that.
And I think like the ones that teach us are our peers, like our friends, pero they don't know what they're doing either.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. It's tough, no? It's tough.
Yeah. You
I
know,
like what Gerard-
oh, go ahead. Read Gerard. Hi, Gerard.
Yeah.
Hello.
I like what he said. He said a lot of people overcompensate for their shortcomings by overly showing public displays of affection and giving gifts and flowers in public because they're insecure in their relationship. But behind closed
Yeah.
doors, their relationship probably sucks. I don't know.
Yep.
Really? Like I don't like for me because like that's just a love language. Like if you're very affectionate or like for me,
Done
my
in high school.
My major love language is giving gifts. Like I just do it because I like. But I think yeah, there needs to be a balance somewhere. Like if you're just like that in front of other people and you aren't the same, when it's just the two of you, then yeah, that's probably just for show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad. Just for show. No good. No good.
Mm.
Like I have a tip for women though.
Ah,
I mean, if you're out to get guys, I don't know if all Ben will agree with me, but the way you present yourself, you can. It's very dangerous. There's a very fine line between slutty and sexy classy.
okay. What's the difference?
And I think there's a lot of young women now because when they act like they like because of social media, they'll twerk, they'll show too much side boob, or they'll work out doing squats when their ass is facing the camera. Like anyone actually cares, diba? The difference is, parang if it's done too much, you fall into the slutty box. That's the
Mm.
risk. There's a risk of falling into the slutty box. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're a woman and you're trying to get attention, you have to have a boundary that you don't cross, and you have to
Uh-huh.
think about it really well because the moment men lose respect for you, hirap yan.
That's
Hirap
true.
to hirap to regain it.
Mm.
And very often, it's the woman's own doing that causes them people to lose respect for them.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. So for me, Rob, like how do you how can I say this? How would you differentiate a woman and a girl in terms of first impressions?
Okay, but here's the thing, no? And this, I believe this completely with 100% of my being. I believe there's a
Mm.
young girl and a woman in everybody, but it's like a spectrum.
Yeah.
In certain aspects, you can be more girl-like, which is good. That's great, especially if your sense of humor is still intact. But in certain aspects, you can be like more woman-like, lady-like, adult. But I think also if you lose the girl in you, like if a man would lose the boy in him completely,
Yeah.
it dilutes the being. So you have to keep it in check.
Yes.
But ultimately, when you're an adult, syempre kailangan more woman, no? And I think no, the role of a woman in nature. I'm sure some
Mm.
feminists will disagree with me. It's a very nurturing role. Nurturing.
Yeah.
Um, you have a child that you care for 9 months when you get pregnant. Dude, what's more nurturing than carrying a being in you, diba? So it
Mm.
comes out also in other ways, no? So a woman has to learn to be nurturing, but in a positive sense.
Yeah.
Positive. Kasi the dark side of women is they can be manipulative and passive aggressive.
I think the manipulative and passive aggressive just kind of shows that you're not as emotionally literate as you should be because you don't know how to communicate your feelings, which is why you do the passive aggressive. Alam mo na yan, versus really, being able to express why it is that you're not happy with something.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
Yeah.
childlike versus childish. Yeah, that's true.
Oo.
That's
Tsaka,
true.
I
Si
think,
Pawix. Hi, Paw.
oh, yes, hi, pal. Tsaka, if the girl shows skin, that's all well and good. But you
Mm.
gotta do it in a classy way.
What is
Yeah.
Dude,
like?
What is
I mean,
yeah?
like, for
What is
example, me,
showing
I'm a guy,
skin in a
diba? I'm separated, I'm a guy, maybe I'm entitled to date, maybe I have to wait to get annulled, whatever, but I'm a guy, so I still look at the women a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment it's too much, wala, dude. For me, it's like I put them in a bucket that it's just not good for humanity. I either unfollow, delete, or mute it. Kasi,
wow high
Or you just
standards.
like on Instagram, right?
because it's really it's dude. Like, for example, diba, you're gonna make 10 stories of yourself, different angles to show your butt and your lingerie and your boobs.
Who does
Mm-mm.
that? Nobody does
A
that.
lot of women on Instagram do that, and
Look at
Really?
it might
all those
it's
women.
great. It's great for conversation. It's great for laughter and uy, kilig, kilig. But then you get placed in this box which you do not want to be in. It's not a
That's true.
box that it's not a box that men will want to love. You know what I mean? It's a box that is prone to abuse,
That is true. That
and you
is
don't
true.
want to be in that box. But I think
Yeah.
women, especially the ones who don't have guidance, wala. For you know what they say, no? The best people are can what you call that, delay gratification. The smartest of us,
Yes.
the most successful of us, and on the flip side, the most unsuccessful of the human race do not know delayed gratification. So the reason why I think women want to overly show their skin, their body, they're gonna twerk, they're gonna go tan 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 na, 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 whatever, diba? But in a skimpy,
Oh, I hate
uh,
those.
no, but if it's
Rob
classy, it's okay. If it's classy, it's okay. But there's a point when it gets too skimpy. But
Mm,
it's these women that they don't know how to delay their gratification, and they're really in it for that quick ping of like and comment.
mm,
It's so cheap, and I think no woman wants to associate themselves with a 5 word cheap,
mm.
five
For
letter
me,
word. But
I think you're
yeah,
right. Like, when it comes to clothing, intention matters because I don't believe that, like somebody in, like short shorts and I don't know, like a spaghetti straps, outside or whatever, like they intentionally, want it for men to objectify them. A lot of the time, especially in this tropical country, like, dude, it's hot.
yes, it's
Right?
how
Yeah.
you use it. It's how you use it. It's really how you use
Exactly.
it.
So I think it's the intention behind the dressing. I think once we kind of once we focus on what the girl is wearing, and saying, oh, she's wearing that, that's why she got disrespected. I think that's where we kind of miss the point.
Yep.
It really
I
is, at the end of the day as well, like it really isn't the women's responsibility as well to control guys and their feelings.
Yeah, I was
Like
just
I
about to say, like it goes both ways, right?
exactly.
It's like the chicken and the egg. Parang you can't blame the woman for dressing that way if she I mean because we're also different, diba? Yun nga, like people dress the way they do because yun nga it's hot or whatever. But it can also flip the other way around. Like for some men, they don't even brush their hair. They don't even shave. It's like it's a
ayos ako ng buhok.
they don't even wear deodorant or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just a reflection, I think, of your upbringing. Because if it's not brought up, if you weren't taught as a kid, it will really not be in
Yeah.
front of you, diba?
Yes. I
So
agree.
you're just not aware.
I
Although
agree.
Yeah.
with women,
So
it's it
it's not their fault a lot of the times. Because they're not
Yes.
made
yes,
aware of it. They're not made aware of it.
Unless the
yeah,
intention talaga is like I am wearing this because I want the likes, because I plan on posting my cleavage. That's a totally
Yeah,
different
but
situation.
that causes depression and anxiety. That will cause depression and
That is a
anxiety.
thing. Exactly. That is a whole other self-esteem issue. But I
Negative
think,
feedback loop. Eh.
yeah, but
tsaka
in
ano
terms, I
yan
think
eh. Parang
mm,
that's also influenced by the whole culture of technology, and obviously like the parents, like the baby boomers, they're not even they don't know what's going on, diba? In what's going on in the generation now, like the Gen Z, even a little bit of the millennial stuff. Like the baby boomer generation, they don't know what it's like really on Instagram.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah,
mm,
And all the filters, my gosh, they're so fake.
they are.
Diba?
I love
they are.
filters.
I know. But you girl, I mean, but I think no. Can I give a Yoda? I'll give a Yoda remark. No, Master Yoda remark. Diba? I think if you want to become a woman that men or other women will want, diba?
Mm,
Let's be fluid here. You want to be a woman that other women can admire and respect, same as men, diba? It's more. I mean, you gotta live that person authentically every day, whether
True.
there's people watching, whether it's on Instagram or in real life. It has to be
mhm.
consistent.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I think red flag, no, kung nakikinig kayo now, if your Instagram feed is so different from your real life, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Sorry,
because you're living
it's
two
fake.
separate lives.
Yeah, it's so fake.
Mm-hmm.
And like for example, no, recently I dated someone like that. Gosh, ganda. Not recently pala. Mabubuking ka Rob eh. What
On the record,
Pero mga year and
mabubuking.
a half ago, a year and a half ago.
Right,
Uh,
right. Mhm.
sa galing ng feed, diba? Sobrang something else, but then, wala. Apparently, it turned out to be all a ruse.
Oh my
Like,
God, what was
Why?
she like?
it
So
was
super.
just polar opposite, dude. It was
Mm,
polar opposite. And I wasn't turned off by the, let's just say it was more of a modest, humble background. That's
okay.
not the thing that turned me off. Eh. It was the lengths at which she would go to make her seem that that wasn't her background.
Ah.
Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so parang if you cannot respect yourself, how can you expect others to respect you? Doesn't work
That's
that
Mm,
way.
true.
Yeah,
yeah. But it kind of feels that she has a lot of issues with trying to look good for other people. So a lot of
exactly.
a lot of self work there. I like what Razel is asking. She goes, "What are the ways that a girl can nurture herself or enrich her life to grow into a woman?"
Ooh, I like that question.
Do you want to go first, Rika?
Okay.
Rob wants to go first. Well, I mean,
Okay.
sige, who wants bato bato pick?
Ladies first. Ladies first. I'm casting my vote to be a man. So please, ladies first.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Rob.
You're welcome.
Well, there are so many ways that a girl can nurture herself or enrich her life to grow into a woman. And the journey, I think, really begins with learning how to embrace your individuality and just being able to love who you are and have a relationship with yourself while you're a single person, because it's so important to eliminate muna the boyfriend or the partner, because you it's hard to get to know yourself when you're trying to please or be there with another person, 'di ba? Parang it's so complicated na. So ways to nurture yourself, like spend a lot of time combing through your thoughts, like getting to know your thought patterns, like spend time writing down how you feel and really get better at the way you describe how you feel so that you can pinpoint exactly what's going on, because that those are techniques that can help you figure out better solutions, diba? Like what Einstein said, if you give him a problem to solve in an hour, he'll take 55 minutes defining the problem and 5 minutes actually solving the problem. So women are very complex. Like everything is connected for us, diba? And if you aren't guided as a girl, you're gonna have to learn the hard way through life experiences how to manage all your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions and how you react and things like that. So I think a great way is to sit down, be quiet, meditate. I mean, it sounds very cliche and corny and boring and whatnot, but it's super powerful when you get to know what's your own inner dialogue. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So that's just one. Oh, Rob's turn. Dami pa ako
Nice.
dyan.
I have 5 tips. I wrote down 5 tips. So my tip number one, if you want to nurture yourself, um, take an active role every day for your wellness. Now, notice I'm not saying fitness, nor am I saying health. I'm saying wellness in general, no? So there's that mental wellness, and of course, kasama na dun yung exercise. So, kasi when you exercise, what's the practical aspect of it? You exercise, your health gets better, your energy for the day is better, you get filled with endorphins, so parang your hormones are making you a happier, more positive person. Diba? And obviously, you'll get sexier also. Whether you're the curvy type or the tight type, whatever. Diba? It'll make you sexier. Number two, do not neglect your mind, ladies. Sayang lahat ng kagandahan nyo. Putang ano, tanga-tanga kayo. Hindi pwede yan. Di ba? So, it's very important. And thankfully now, with social media and the internet, there's so many resources to educate yourself. You can watch a show like this, video on YouTube, read a book. It's great, but never neglect your mind. Huwag puro beauty lang lahat. And number 4, I think the female has to be financially positive. I'm not talking about rich here. I'm just saying that her existence produces a financial benefit that's positive. Hindi siya financial burden on other people. Kasi you cannot be that woman who depends on other people all the time for financial gain.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you'll be the easiest. Diba? You'll be the easiest woman to manipulate. Kahit anong ganda mo, oh my gosh. No matter how beautiful you are, how sexy you are for life, diba? But if you cannot seem to control that, your other partner or other people will always have control over you. And I think lastly, and this might cause a little bit of stir, try to, if you want, this is for the heterosexual female who want men. I believe you try to learn and develop the skill of articulating like a gentleman. What do I mean by that?
For women?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Articulate like
for
a
me,
gentleman.
this is for me, from a man's point of view. Because if you're gonna say let your fine really mean fine, and your yes really mean yes, and your no really mean no. Walang fine pero hindi pala fine. Walang yes pero no pala. Walang ganyanan. Because
Tama.
that's
I
not
think
right.
That's
Sorry,
the hardest.
I know, but that's not right. That's not right. It's gonna cause strife in any relationship. Any relationship, it will cause strife. And if your man bows down to that kind of behavior, you are with a weakling. Mental weakling, cannot, no backbone. Diba? Obviously, you want a good man who can take care of you and protect you. So if you want someone like that, you have to be this kind of woman where your yes means yes and your no means no.
Yes. Or you can at
Listen
least
to
articulate
Rob, guys.
why you are feeling. Yeah, for sure.
Because
I
you
think
know
for
that
me-
whole that attitude of fine ganyan, it drives men nuts. It's destroying for men. And if you destroy
God.
the man in a relationship will crumble.
At saka,
Yeah,
I was listening to something kanina, when women daw are assertive and they give a little bit of an attitude because, their no really means like no or something, that's actually more attractive to a man. All of a sudden, parang,
Yes,
they're like, wow, you know?
it is.
It is. It is.
Sobra.
It is.
And it keeps a man on his toes.
Yeah.
Diba? You know, how ironic is it that if you stop playing this game of cloak and dagger, the man becomes more attentive. Wow, my gosh. Promise.
Let's get
Promise.
into that later because I hate
Promise.
mind games and I hate the mind fucks and
Yeah.
I want to
let's do that.
understand. I want to understand why women or why girls like to play those games. But so yeah, let me finish. Let me finish up the question. So Razel, for me, I think Gerard brought it up as well. What are the ways that a girl can nurture herself? I love what Rika said, which is about self-love, being able to put yourself first. I think that carries on to what Rob said about like concentrating on your wellness. I really believe in having a very strong morning routine that is all about putting yourself first and your needs first before others before you start the day. So it can be like, for me, I like to put 2 hours just for meditation, walking the dog, journaling, whatever, like yoga, etc. And when I do that for myself, I kind of fill up my love tank first so I can be available and be of service to other people for the rest of the day. And I think I love what Gerard said as well. I'll just go into that a little bit. Is it really is about in order to nurture yourself, try and look for your tribe, right? Try and look for a tribe of like-minded individuals or people who you are aspiring that you kind of want to be like. They
Yeah.
can be in your circle, they can be on Instagram, you can find them on YouTube. Like there are so many content creators with so many brilliant messages, and give you a lot of tools on how to just build your self-awareness and become a better person. And if you don't want to do that, just come back again next Wednesday for when we have our next topic, and just be a part of our pod squad. We're more than happy to have you.
Yeah.
Done. I
So
have a
yeah, so
I have a wonderful tip,
mm,
and this one hits very close to home for me.
okay.
I committed one act of in my life that I shouldn't have to a woman, and it was to
Mm-hmm.
my ex-wife, Pano, who was she was someone I was supposed to love the most in life. So that's not good. I apologize, and let's see someday maybe she will forgive me. But the reason why I bring this up is because I have spent a lot of time analyzing, like, and that's why I'm not really dating anyone now. Is because I'm so afraid to make the choice. But you know that, Kathy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fall into this trap. I don't want to fall into this trap of my old mistakes. No? So what I'm trying to say is,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to keep your man, women, if you want to keep your man, remember that men fall in love with you. You're that sacred space in their lives when they fall in love with you. I'm speaking metaphorically, obviously. So when they fall in love with you, you're the sacred space in a man's life. And as the relationship progresses, you don't want to use that sacred safe space. Because when you become that nagging wife, nagging partner, the doubting Tomasha, whatever, diba? Checking the phone of the guy, everything, and doing all these crazy things, from the sacred space, you become now, you're not anymore the safe space. Now men will look for a
Yeah.
safe space somewhere else. Alcohol, friends, drugs, sports, work, worst case is another woman. So if you remember
Yeah.
that you're the safe space in your man's life, guard it, and your man will keep coming back to you. But
Mm.
if you lose that title as the safe space in his life, wala man, hirap yan. You have to regain
Yeah.
it back. Does that make
But
sense?
for me, yeah, but that goes both ways as well,
Of course,
right?
of
Yeah.
Because
course.
what I'm hearing from you is that was a trust issue. If a girl starts getting paranoid and scrolling through your phone and whatever, like something triggered that. Like what
Yeah,
I like,
probably.
like, I'll be honest, like, women, like we don't get crazy unless there's a reason, but we
Yeah.
do tend to overreact. Like, so
Yeah,
yeah. I kind of wanted to go back to what Rob said earlier that I really kind of want to talk about
Alin.
is, the way that girls communicate, wherein, you know,
Fine.
wherein like it's like for us, parang I don't know, like for me, kasi when I was growing up here when in high
Oh,
school, I already saw the passive aggressive behavior. I saw they would talk to everybody but the girl that's involved, or everybody but the guy
yeah,
who
yeah.
they have
That's so bad.
with,
That's so bad. My gosh, so bad.
right? And then you get the like yung mga suguran sa CR and stuff like
Oh my
that.
gosh, so bad.
Um,
Yeah,
right? And that, for me, like that was such a culture shock for me.
the
But then
gossip. No, the gossip is
growing
so
up,
bad.
yeah, but then growing up, that doesn't change. As a girl, that continues into college, that continues into the office
Yeah.
space. And a lot of girls can't get out of that
Terrible.
cycle. Like they crave
Yeah.
the drama. And then they're the ones who say, "Oh, I like drama." Like when somebody says that, like that's when drama queen.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Talaga.
So right? So for me, like, what do you guys think? Like, as a woman, girl to a woman, what needs to change in terms of that habit, or is it an attitude now? That type of attitude that we think it's okay. okay?
I think, if I may, I think it
Mm.
really, but
Mhm.
I mean, at the start of it all, you gotta learn how to forgive each other. I think that is really the foundation, because passive aggression happens because of resentment that has been, built up, and then it continues to grow. And like you said, it enters the workspace. You're an adult now, you're a lola, and you're still like that because you don't
Yeah,
know,
ang
you
daming
haven't,
lola. Ganun pa rin yung ugali. Oh my God.
like that lady that was calling me, remember, anyway. But exactly, so it's embarrassing and it sucks because forgiveness is also something you have to practice. It's like a muscle, you got to strengthen it. It's not
Mhm.
easy. And I think being passive aggressive is because you don't know how to handle what you're feeling. It's like you feel like somebody needs to give you what you want, diba? Like in terms of feelings, but you're not getting it. You're not receiving it. So how do you act? You just
Yeah.
act the way you are, which is passive aggressive. So I think, yeah, forgiving yourself also is one more thing, and learning how to uh, reconnect with that other girl that pissed you off,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or guy.
or guy, yeah.
Or guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think now no more than ever. So to stick to the topic, the whole passive aggressive thing or the gossip, because the gossip is a defense mechanism, diba? Diba? There's this gossip, passive aggression. It's defense counter turned into a little bit of an attack,
Mm-hmm.
diba? So this is what I say. No, you should be able to articulate more, especially in times when there's disagreements, but do it
Yeah.
in a calm way. It's not like one person's hot-headed and you have to match their hot-headedness, and it becomes
Mm-hmm.
a battle of shouting, raising voices, or a popularity contest. No, but if you can always keep it cool and keep the conversation happening so that people can mellow down.
Yeah.
I think that's what's needed, and now more than ever, no, in this world that we live in, it's so volatile, diba? Diba? You have so many countries fighting with each other. America staring itself a new asshole, diba? With all the things that it's doing,
You have one.
diba? They're polarizing each other in America. My gosh, it's so bad. In a time, but now that there's COVID, it's because
Yeah.
they can't have a healthy dialogue, diba?
Yeah.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
hirap.
Yeah. Me and Rika were just talking about that backstage. It's terrible.
What?
We're just talking
Yeah, me and
about
Rika
that
were talking about
backstage.
that backstage.
Yeah. So
So yeah,
and the women,
it's
kasi,
terrible.
diba? The women can say so much more words than the man. And like for example, when I have some female friends that I friendship over because
Mm-hmm.
when my the at the when I got separated from my ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
so they were all their talk, which was probably which were a lot of half truths. It was causing more problems. I really wanted to run up to them and just smack them in the head.
Yeah.
Diba?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
half of what they were saying was completely false. And sometimes I just realized, baka are they just saying this just so that they can have the ear of my ear of
Exactly.
my ex-wife, para they can be that person who's giving good advice. Oh, I care for you. Pero wala
Yeah.
talaga. So, wala, gossip is bad. So, for me, I guess that's why I'm so careful, no? Parang I wait to see if there's an adversity in someone's life. How does this woman handle adversity? So, I think that's very important for me
Yeah.
as a man because I don't wanna get involved with women like that. They just piss me off.
Yeah.
Really, they piss
For
me off.
sure.
No? My gosh, I
Yeah.
wish I could name names. I wish I could name names.
Mamaya, mamaya, after
But I
this is
know,
over.
I told
Backstage.
myself I'm not gonna stoop. I'm not gonna stoop down to their level. But oh my gosh, there's like
It's not worth it.
there's these
Yeah.
three women that I really have it in for. My
Mm.
gosh. But of course, I'm polite when I see them. But in
Yeah.
my head, I'm
Like
ripping
they're
their
dead.
head. I'm
Yeah,
ripping their heads out of their.
Oh my god.
sure.
My gosh, hirap
I
niyan.
think yeah. Just going back to the question, I think for me, like as a coach, I think there needs to be some sort of self-awareness if this has been the cycle for years. So, a lot of the times, kasi, if we grow up with that kind of attitude or behavior and we've kind of accepted it as normal, we don't realize that we're doing something wrong, right? Or we don't realize that it's toxic until somebody calls us out for it. So I think there needs to be a level of self-awareness for you to be able to ask yourself, what, like, why do I keep attracting drama in my life? Or, why do I always have to have an enemy everywhere I go? And
Right.
those are the signs that there is something going on. It's not just them, it's probably you. And that's where you kind of start asking yourselves questions, or, find a friend or somebody that you can trust that can hold you accountable to your bad behavior until you can get out of that cycle and change it. Somebody who can call you out and say, oh, you're being a bitch again. Oh, that wasn't nice what you said. Or, you're doing this again. You should really stop. Or you're gossiping again. You should really stop. And I think that's how you can at least curb the years and years and years of toxic behavior that we've been taught as women. Yeah, I like what Tim says. Radical honesty in a relationship is healthy, for sure. But I think radical honesty, again, comes with trust. So I think the more that you trust each other in the relationship, the more honest you're going to be. The more that you kind of find reasons not to trust somebody, I think that's the red flag already, that, something needs to be done about the relationship.
Can I just give a shout out to Timmy Fakuri, the Italian stallion? He's this guy was my student in ACA. He's now my partner in Alianza. Yeah, he's a half Spanish kind of guy, but he's Italian from the waist down. What's up, Timmy?
And I'm sorry. How did you confirm this, Rob?
You have so many half from the waist down friends. Like the Brazilian half friends.
Oh, see,
He has a half Brazilian.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hear from their cuentos.
Also from the waist down, like, who confirms all of this information in your kitchen?
I don't know. It's assumptions based on very little evidence.
Love that.
Okay, well,
now we know, right? I want to get into another topic that I find is very girlish attitude to a woman. And I don't know, Rob, if you've noticed this or if guys do this, but with women, there seems to be some sort of internal competition. Like, women naturally compete with each other. And I had this experience in high school that was just really bad for me, to the point where all of my barkada were guys, and I was a tomboy anyway, so that kind of suited me fine. But I kind of had a distrust towards women for such a long time because of that experience of like, I thought they were friends, but then they were kind of frenemies in a way that they were, parang I felt that they were always competing with me for something. And Rika's smiling, so I'm pretty sure she gets this too. And even into the workplace, right? Like, you have coworkers that are super nice, whatever, but then and it's funny because this usually happens when there is the opposite sex in the room. The competitiveness comes out. And I just want to pick Rika, like, what do you think about that? And I don't know, did you have the same experience I did? Because I know, like, parehas tayong medyo we have our trust issues when it comes to the same sex.
I know, we're very similar, no, our stories. Well, I can relate to that, no, because as I mentioned earlier, I was in between. I was like a little. I could get along with the guys more than the girly girls because I wasn't a girly girl. I wasn't feminine just like them. And I think because women tend to compete with each other, I don't know. Yeah, the whole frenemy thing. Parang Mean Girls, the movie Mean Girls, diba? That's why I love that movie. It's so accurate.
It is.
Is it because, diba, like, naturally in nature, it's always one male and a lot of females.
I think hanggang
Like,
ngayon, like even our population, it's mostly women. It's more than men. No.
Yeah, and you have to minus pa all the men who are into men.
yeah, and the
Exactly.
men that don't want to be
Kayo
men
mga super guwapo. Why?
so what's gonna happen to us?
Right?
But
No, yeah. So like with us women, but like there seems to be this competition for
yeah,
the attention of men, whether it's your boss or your teacher or whatever. And then there's this snide attitude when it comes to that.
you know that is one topic that I have not read or listened or researched about. Yun nga, yung parang why do women compete with each other? They're very like
Mm.
cliquish, right?
Yep.
But once
The-
you bond and you find your female tribe, parang that's you na and them forever.
I don't know. I've had a couple of those,
Not
and like kind of
forever.
Men are competitive too, huh? Men are competitive also. I think
Are
it's
they
a human
competitive?
nature.
For women's attention as well, because it's kind of ganito yun kasi, Rob. Like for women, for example, at the office, like
Mhm.
if a man got promoted to a certain position, nobody would blink an eye. But if a
Yeah.
woman got
There's the
promoted,
patriarchy movement.
then the other women have something to say.
Yeah.
Does that make
Baka
sense?
parang
Oo.
naglandian or something.
Oo, baka nagpa-cute kay sir. Kay
Yeah.
ma'am.
Right? Like there is that jealousy factor when it comes to that. Pero if it's a guy that's in the same position, like what else, you know?
Yeah, that's the male dominance argument though.
Mm.
Diba? There's that argument, I think, especially in the Western countries.
I think because women
Yeah.
want to be favored and if
Yeah, that's
another
tough.
woman
I mean, it's
is
tough, yeah.
put in the spotlight or gets the favor, feeling nila parang what about me? So it
Yeah.
is a self-esteem issue. Again, it goes back to that. Diba?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I know that's tough. It's also a reality. And
Mm. But like for me, that's such a childish problem, but it's
It
there,
is.
you know?
it's there. And some women use that card
Yeah.
and they get away with it. And some men
Yep.
will label women to use that card even if they don't. And that's not right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Agree.
it's no good, but it's there, no? So I
But-
think no, regardless of whether it's there or not, then the woman's best option is to carry herself in such a way that is she can live with the consequences of her actions, whether they be known or not known. Diba? You
So,
know,
like,
an authentic self,
having a certain detachment to what's happening. Ganon?
Yes, but also it's more being aware that you did of how you carry yourself. Does this make sense? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
or being aware that of how you carry yourself, and should someone think otherwise, oh, that's their problem, diba? But then if they push too hard to gossip about you, I think women should learn to push back.
Mm.
But then kasi there's a risk kasi sometimes, diba, women can get labeled as psycho,
Mm-hmm.
diba? Pag nagwawala masyado.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So I think you have to learn how to deal damage where the damage goes one way and doesn't come back to you.
Mm. For sure.
Let's
Like
start
for
a
me,
class. Let's start a class, ladies. I'm gonna have the men. I'll have the men. You know what? Wiping the feet that you walk in a week.
The feet that you walk in.
The floor that you walk in. Come on, ladies.
I
Sige.
think naman for a lot of girls, who act that way, I think there needs to be some sort of like self-awareness class then about that specific type of behavior. Like we have all these like, girls support girls movements, every women's month or whatever, but then it doesn't really, come to pass. Like I have a handful of female friends. I have so many guy friends. And for me, like, I do have that trust issue. And I think with a lot of women growing up who also kind of had like the same, high school experience that I had, which I think is pretty common, that becomes a wound there. And,
Yeah.
at the same time, that needs healing. So it's either, you get bullied and you repeat the process to somebody else and the cycle continues, or you're like me and you completely detach yourself from other females, period, and just, hang out with the guys for the most part. So it actually took me to be in my 30s to really work on that and to trust women and to reach out and, be friends and be available to women. I like what Tim said. He goes, just forget what other people think of you. Even if you do things the right way, you will still be judged. Fact of life. Agree.
Oh, Timmy happens to me all the time.
Agree. Yeah. Yes. Also, yes.
What can I say? No, for the ladies. Look at your group of friends, and if they're people that you admire, you're an admirable lady. But if you can't stand your group of friends, chances are you're kind of like them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
You are the median of the 5 people you hang out with.
yeah, yes, but that's especially true for, yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you're young, no, and you're hanging out with other people. So be careful. If there's any high school people there who are watching, being cool in high school and college, sometimes it ends in high school and college. So don't worry,
Exactly.
Yeah.
there's life after high school and there's life after college. Gosh,
Exactly.
I have so
somebody-
many friends who are
Diba?
stuck in high school, but then
Oh, wala eh.
those were the best years of your life.
Balita ko kasi kasi
You guys
yung high
had a
school.
good you guys had a good high school experience? Both
Me, no.
of you?
No.
No? Ikaw ka?
I was okay. I was I was a complete tomboy in high school, so people would gossip about me. I think
Yun.
freshman year I was malande. Sophomore year I was a tomboy. My third year they were just completely confused because I didn't have a boyfriend. All my guy friends were just friends. And then fourth year I was a senior, so nobody cared. But people were so invested in my love life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grabe.
So, yon.
Yun.
So, I have an interesting topic that I know Rob would just love
What is
to
it?
talk
What is it?
about.
We haven't
And
talked about sex yet.
And that is,
We haven't talked about
it
sex.
is.
Yet.
I want to talk about sex. I want to
Oh!
talk about sex with regard to women and how we approach it. And I want to get the guy's point of view. Okay.
Okay.
Like I remember I posted something on my stories earlier this week, and it was like
Perfect.
like porn
Talk about
porn
sex, Timmy.
versus right, like porn versus reality
Porn?
of having sex. Yeah,
Corn?
I saw
porn,
that.
Porn.
right,
Porn.
like pornography versus
That was
the
a cute
reality of having sex, right? And the reality of having sex is, like there are conversations, there are trips to the bathroom during sex,
There's toilet
right?
paper.
Yeah, toilet paper runs and stuff like that. And I just found it hilarious. But then at the same time, I realized, I think, especially like in our culture, women, we are never really taught about sex, right? And most of it again comes from porn, and a lot of it is just a lot of it's a lot of people pleasing, right?
Madami talagang pleasure dyan sa
So like
sex.
your first time, at least for me, my first time, I'm like, oh, we know, Rob, we know. No, but like going into it as a woman, like my first time, I just kind of let the guy like lead the way, and you teach me. I
Your
have no
first time
fucking
dapat,
clue what I'm doing.
Otherwise, hindi maniniwala yung
Right?
first time mo, diba?
That is true.
Oo, diba?
No, but then, diba? And then it just kind of devolves into that. It's kind of like, for me, it took me a couple of years to realize, like, why am I just doing everything that he wants to do? Right?
Oh,
Why
diba?
is there no exploration of what I want to do? Why is it me,
Yeah.
constantly
Definitely.
pleasing the guy?
Let's talk about
Right.
sex, baby.
People
Let's talk
pleasing,
about
right?
it.
Let's do it. I don't know, Rika. Like, what's your take on? I think I said something about women need men need to stop treating women like they're disposable, and women need to stop accepting that.
Yeah, I agree. I
Why,
super
why
agree.
do men treat women like they're disposable?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not
But you
all,
can't generalize. You can't
but that's
generalize.
why not all. But I think
But
it's
but
like,
women do that to men too. Like, oh,
do we?
I'm not interested in this guy. Diba? Tapos,
Because I think
ligaw ng ligaw si guy, hindi mo naman sinasagot. Ano ba?
But I'm talking about sex.
A sex.
When it comes to sex, yeah.
Well, kasi women kasi, they get attached once they have sex, for the most part.
because for
Mm.
us it's part of our DNA to act that way. We don't like we gotta have some kind of emotional connection.
Oh.
I mean,
And,
not for
but for
every
men, it's
girl.
not necessary.
That's why it's very hard to communicate that because
Yeah.
if you're extreme, if you're like, oh, I really can only have sex with an emotional connection, and the guys naman, they compartmentalize, diba? And they can really just separate sex even
Just
kahit
ban
walang emotion. Yeah. So
Oh.
how do you put those two together? It's impossible. One will get hurt, or I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think it's
It's so
about,
complicated.
I don't know. I just only have a hypothesis.
Mhm.
Sige, what's your hypothesis?
I think it's like a volume dial that just needs to be turned up and down. And for a successful relationship to work, both parties need to be able to find the right dial.
Yeah. Very profound.
Bakit dalawa yung dial,
Bakit?
Rob?
Kasi
Tsaka
the
bakit
man's
ganon?
dial and the woman's
Right.
dial. So, like that, oh.
Right. Hindi ba like ganon?
Ay, narin ganyan. But okay. In all seriousness, that's a big factor because men are like that too, diba? But I think, okay,
Yeah.
here's one thing. I believe that a woman should just not be like a starfish in bed.
Mhm.
No. Oh yeah, definitely.
Higa ka lang, diba? Yeah, so kasi your question was porn in real life, diba?
Yeah.
Okay, if I may tell this to all the wonderful women out there, I believe that any mature man would know that porn is not real life. So take away the pressure na ladies, no pressure.
So
But,
any
but,
mature man.
huh? Ano no?
So any mature man, if he's a boy, he's
Yeah,
probably gonna.
That means baka kulang pa sa sex yung binatang yan.
Take off the
Okay,
pressure. What do you mean?
Sorry?
Take off the pressure from what?
No, because I know
performing.
women, some women might think that men want what they see in porn all the time. And I think it's not exactly right.
Mm.
Oh,
A
yeah,
little bit,
definitely.
like I said, it's the volume thing. It's a little bit, but not too much. Not too
Okay.
much, because men also want to love the woman, no, and respect them. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's what men
Yeah.
want to look for, that woman.
Mhm.
And so, like I said, no, be that kind of woman that attracts that be the kind of woman that a man will want to respect, a man will want to love. And
For sure.
funny enough, it's not by doing what the man wants, it's by being this cool, independent woman, that where the yes means yes and the no means no. And if the guy goes, oh, you know what, for Halloween I'm gonna be a ghost, and you say, go ahead, because I'm also gonna be a ghost for Halloween. You know, a little sense of humor here and there. Don't be so caught up in the guy, you know?
Yeah.
Kasi men space eh. But syempre, you cannot put up with pure neglect, diba? That's no good,
Mhm.
diba? So
Yeah,
finding
that's
that
not
right
good.
space.
Yeah.
That
No, I think
right
for me,
good balance.
I think what I'm kind of getting at is in terms of sex, right? Like for example, with guys, like there is like pornography and whatever, and most of the pornography out there is really based on this a lot of men just objectifying women, right?
Yes.
So you guys kind of figure out like, okay, this kind of looks good, I'll try this the next time. Women don't have that.
Yes.
We don't have that like guide to like, oh, like try this, you have try this in bed, you might actually like it. That's what I'm
kind of Vanity Fair, Vogue.
Cosmopolitan. Madami.
Cosmopolitan pala, di ba yung mga sex moves?
Yeah.
Sex
Really?
moves to try on your next one night stand. Like that.
How do you know?
Dude, I know women. I told you I know women.
You do.
I do. I give advice to young men now how to date women properly.
Rika's face is like,
No, that's my. I believe you. I believe.
bye.
I'm gonna give advice to my two boys when they start dating women.
Yeah. Oh
Oh my
my
gosh,
god.
one of them is turning 10.
They're still babies. Don't think about that.
Ah, 10 years old na nga yung isa eh.
Yeah, wala.
16 na
He's
yung
super
sa
innocent.
akin.
Oo.
Una pa yung sa akin.
Co-ed pa naman.
Yeah. Brent pa, di ba?
Yeah.
Wala. They're super innocent.
Oh, sex is I think women should. Okay, but here's the thing. Sex is a woman's weapon.
Really? How?
Yes. Because they are
I believe
sexual. Because I believe men think about sex, food, and women think about food, sex. This is psychology, Psychology 101. Diba?
Food, sex,
So
food,
that
sex?
means men are sex, food,
Ah.
sex, food. Like
Okay.
the male sharks, sex, food. But women are food first and then sex. That's
okay.
psychology.
So, bubusogin mo muna kami before. I like what
Papusog ka muna
Because that
bago ano. No, but the
Because
why was I saying that?
I don't want men to be manyak with manners.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
si Timmy Puri yan, pinaka may manners na manyak, nakilala ko. Ladies, single pa na to si Timmy.
As above, so below.
Single to si Timmy Fakuri, Single.
Manners on the top, manyak sa baba. Diba?
Aba, very good. He's got manners from the waist down.
Manners outside.
He's got manners from the waist
Manners
down.
outside.
And he's manyak from the waist down.
Must be the Italian in him.
Oh my god. This might get into trouble.
So I'm
what-
kind of curious. 'Cause I haven't been like dating seriously in a while, and I think Rob kind of has
Okay.
at least last year.
Last year, maybe a little bit. I don't know. No
And
comment.
Rika kind of. So like when it comes to dating, when do you think is like a proper time, I guess, for somebody to like invite the guy in?
In
Invite
where?
the guy in, or the guy invites
The
Like
metaphorical in your heart or mind, or inside physical body?
to sleep with
sex.
each other. In other
Yeah,
words.
it's like
I think it's very classy to make pakipot on at least the first date. Come on, ladies.
Of course
Mm.
naman, no.
I know eh.
Siyempre naman.
Oh, so don't put yourself in a
the second date, you're
don't
good
put
na.
yourself in a position, I think, no? Diba?
Mm.
Make sure may susundo sa'yo, may kotse ka, make sure. Diba?
Tama,
Kung naging
tama.
Mr. Sticky Hands
So what about
guy,
like 3 months? 6 months?
oh my gosh, dude, that's so freaking long. Come on.
6 months is forever.
Really? 3 months.
3 is good.
Diba? Just go for it, ladies. Just be safe.
Just go for it.
Oh.
No.
Robert, at least the
You
first
should
date.
ride it like a cowboy. Just ride it like a cowboy. Alam mo, try mo. Ride the guy like a cowboy, and then just leave. Say, I'm done. Now I'm out of here. Putang ina. That guy will be after you like, my gosh, I'm in love. Whatever.
What?
That
Really?
doesn't sound right at all.
Yes. I know it doesn't.
At all.
But what did I tell you? I teach practical tips for you women. I can teach this to you. So the guys will be wiping the floor you walk on. My gosh.
I think I would like to think that a guy would come back for me because they actually like me for who I am and not because
Yeah.
I
There's
just
this
kind of left.
Yes,
Like,
but there's these
I'm
little
gonna-
psychological tricks.
The dude is just gonna be looking for closure at this point, right? Like, so why did you? I just need to know why
That
did
goes
you?
against my yes, and my no means no. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. You're right. But just don't be. But there's a fine line. Don't be little Miss Needy, diba?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like,
Little Miss
How-
Needy is never welcome. That's very bad. That's a
Same with
recipe for
guys.
disaster.
Needy guys
how needy is?
are not also welcome.
Exactly, diba? Epaji.
No. Sige. So I'm curious. How needy is needy for you, Rob, and then Rika?
Okay, Rob muna.
Putang ina. Mahirap na. Hard to articulate this. How needy? Sorry,
Define-
Rika muna, please.
Needy? Okay, ako muna.
Sige.
How is needy? I don't know.
Like in a relationship or like about to be?
Hindi, dating
or
muna, dating muna, dating.
And dating.
Okay.
Like, when do you know like that's a red flag? You don't want that.
Okay, well, I'll just say I had to chop a few heads off.
Wow, the heads are rolling. Heads are
Yeah,
rolling.
because it pisses me off. Can I just say this? Like,
Say it.
I hate it when
Rob is still looking for a photo.
okay,
Oh.
photo later. I mean, I just my life is very parang okay. First of all, let's get the facts straight. We're in a pandemic. Everybody can check out each other's social media. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you know, I am all over social, not naman all over, but I'm very transparent. So who I am in real life is who I am, kind of on social media. So people that try to like approach me know that, okay, I'm busy, I'm a mom, I'm homeschooled, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing a lot of things. I really can't stand it when they leave a bunch of messages and after 2 or 3 days have the nerve to tell me like, hey, you know what, you could do a little bit better in replying because I've been just kind of like waiting for a reply. It's so hard to
Yan
talk.
ang needy.
All of a sudden, like your abs don't mean anything to me. Like
Oh, shit.
no, I
I
really
don't
am
love
hot-headed. Wala nga eh, wala
No
nga
abs,
abs eh.
No abs.
Pero may muscles. Basta, it just pisses me. That's needy because for a guy,
Needy.
needy.
I agree.
Sabi ko, wow, I'm like busier and more, parang I'm more driven and goal-oriented than you.
Oh, diba? Anong ginagawa niya? Naghihintay lang siya ng text back. Please text back.
In all platforms pa. All
Oh my
platforms.
gosh.
Yung isang guy, sabi niya,
Heads will
Sabi-
roll. Off with his head. Both of
Off
them. Both of his heads.
all heads. He said pa, pahabol, sabi niya. And this was the first day of texting.
He said
okay?
pahabol ka? He said pahabol ka?
I said, this is my pahabol. On the second day of texting, because I wasn't replying, he said, if we are to build this relationship, then you need to be better with communicating and texting me back. I know you're busy, blah, 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 blah. Ang haba-haba. So I was like,
How long did you guys...
na
How long
siya.
have you guys been talking with each other?
just one day. It was a simple like, hi, hello, hi. I'm from Canada.
Oh, that's
Like,
needy. That's needy.
It's needy AF.
That's
And I was
Mr. Control Freak.
I was turned off like to the max.
Oh, wala. Control Freak yan.
So
Stay
no
away.
matter how good looking you are, and
Oo,
how good
sayang lang
you
yung
are,
abs mo, sir.
nakakadilog.
Maglagay ka,
yun.
mag-exercise ka sa utak.
Yeah.
I think
ikaw
Timmy has a
naman.
wonderful point. Look at Timmy's point.
Yeah, I love that.
I think game na. When
When
you
you
Oh,
get to the
girls, read
point.
it. Go ahead and read. Who wants to read
Rika,
it?
go.
I think game now when you get to the point when you have talked about what you both want. So it's clear if serious ba or playtime. At least malinaw na no one gets labeled paasa. Tama.
Tama.
Your MU should be mutual understanding, not malabong usapan.
Oh,
Exactly.
grabe na. Lupit talaga na si Timmy Fakuri, oh. Puta. Girl,
I love
single to,
that. Thank you.
single to si Timmy Facori.
Thank you for being so malinaw. Exactly.
Oo.
Yeah.
So, kung wala kang
Habulin
concern
ng
about
chicks to.
your future or like whatever it is that, wala kayo nakikitang future sa isa't isa pero gusto nyo pa rin, go.
Oo,
Pero
mahirap
that's
ang
not
needy.
something,
Mahirap.
respect boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, no, it's the same as Rika. Diba?
Mm.
You go out once, you hang out, and then you talk. I think when they complain that your messages take long to come back, I'm like,
I hate that.
I hate it. It's like it's not like I'm doing it on purpose.
Mm.
Right.
Diba? Like for example, I mean all the things that I have been through over the last 3 months. Diba? I
Yeah.
tried so hard to keep my employees, but I lost 25 of them.
Exactly.
We almost lost our space. It's not like I'm not doing anything.
Exactly.
Diba? And so I think, and that's the problem. I think the people that do that don't have anything in their life that they're really doing at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a red
too
flag.
much time on their hands, and they're
Yeah.
entitled that you keep them entertained or
Yeah.
you know,
Diba?
like I
Idleness is the devil's handiwork, they say.
Mhm.
yeah.
For me, my red flags with neediness are like when he texts, like, good morning, kumain ka na ba? Ano yung breakfast mo? Alam mo yun? It's like,
Like
Ah,
the
uy, gabi na. Nagkanin ka ba?
yeah, like, super small na walang kwenta. I hate that.
You know what? I hear so many girls complaining about this.
because
So I think-
it's like it doesn't make
Annoying.
sense. It's like
Wala ka
what do
bang
you call that?
I know,
Parang,
right?
don't you have a better question
Anything
for
better
me?
to say? Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's
I
like
have some female
can-
friends and they hate it when men do that.
yeah, it
'Cause
is super.
It's just papansin. Like, like you don't really care about
No.
the answer. Right? You're just waiting for a reply.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
wala ka
true.
nung
That's true.
masabing iba.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ask me an interesting question, di ba?
Diba? Yeah.
Here, be witty, or just make me laugh. Yun, okay pa ako doon. But then, like, kumain ka na ba? Anong ulam mo? Hindi
Oh.
care. Kakain ka
For
ba
the
dito?
guys
Hindi naman.
listening, for the guys listening, can I suggest that making a proposal to women is always better.
Yeah.
So what's the
Mm.
proposal?
What is the
Proposal to hang
proposal?
out. To hang out, share
Yeah,
a bottle
take
of wine.
initiative, guys.
Yeah,
take
sure.
initiative.
And just be okay with a no. And don't, diba? If the girl doesn't like you, don't be a creep, but you can be persistent. But have some class.
For sure.
Have some class.
I think with
Pare.
dating, like, really develop the friendship first. Because if you don't have the
Yeah.
friendship and it's just
Oh.
like lust and attraction, it's
Yeah,
just
that,
creepy.
that'll die down
creepy
without the
for-
friendship.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
my recommendation to the guys who are looking for great.
Exactly.
Sorry, no. We're talking about women now. Diba? So my recommendation to the women are, be that cool, awesome girl that people want to be around. Whether guwapo yan
Yeah.
or hindi guwapo, whether babae or lalaki, that means you're the same. You're
Mhm.
consistent. You're not fake. Because if you catch the person of your dreams being fake and they find you out, putang ina. Adios, motherfuckers. No, diba?
Yeah.
Adios.
Mm.
Diba? Sayonara.
Tama.
True. Tama.
I'm curious. In terms of making the first move, though, like, for you, Rob, is it okay with you if a woman is the one
Yes!
that comes on to you? Or okay.
Wait.
That's the
Wait, there.
Yes. Pucha.
No, wait. Let me clarify the Let me
Okay.
make it more
Okay.
specific.
Oh.
Because there's a difference between a girl pursuing the guy or the girl parang like making the first move to say like, or like parang opening the door and saying like, okay, yes, you can pursue me. That's different from the girl
Exactly.
actually. So,
First move is okay. First move is okay.
what does that look
Please.
like to you? Yung first move na
Huh?
yan? What does that look
Okay,
like?
to move, it simply looks like a look that is longer than 1 or 2 seconds and a smile. And that's it. That's all you need.
Oh, dude, that can be like anybody. Like, I do
But
that to
that's
everybody. So,
anything.
what the fuck? Exactly,
Kung hindi mo
right?
na-gets
Like,
if
That
the
can be
guy
the
didn't get it-
waitress.
No. No, a 2 second gaze is a big deal.
2 sec.
Really?
One,
Oy.
two.
Mahaba
Sometimes
yan. And then a smile like that, oh. Dude, if they don't make the move after that, do it one more time. If they don't, they're probably not into women or into you.
Paano nga? Show us nga. What does that look like?
2 second, 1, 2, and smile, and then ay! So, kunyari nahiya.
so, girls, if you want to get with Rob, just stare at the
2 second
dude and
rule.
No,
smile.
this is for all men. This is for all men. Kasi some men are torpe still eh. Ako, I gave up being torpe already. I gave it up when I hit 40.
Nothing happens when you're torpe.
Exactly
Dude, you
right.
were colorful. Come on.
Oh, yes, I was my whole life.
I cannot see it, dude. I cannot.
O sabi ni Timmy, 3 times na para sure.
3 times 2 seconds? That's a lot of staring.
Oh, gaze, smile.
Gaze. Wow, we gotta
And then
practice
after that, look away na may kasamang ganyan sa buhok. Ay puta, magkakagulo yan. Magkakagulo yung lalaking yan. Magkakagulo yan.
Like, I don't know. For most women, like, that's what we do. Like,
Yeah, we're
you know,
like
like,
that.
like, you just look at
Yeah,
the guy and
if
we're
the
like,
guy's
this is
not into
really.
you, maybe they're not into you. Diba?
I don't know. Because,
Yeah,
like, for most
and
of us, diba?
Okay, let's get technical about it. Make sure that first opportunity, solid 2 second gaze, solid smile. Look away.
Maybe. No,
And
sige,
give him 10 minutes. If nothing happened in 10 minutes, do it again.
Wait,
I-
what is the scenario? Are we in a
I
club?
am
Or
so
are we in
manhid
a
when it comes
grocery?
It can be in the beach, it can be in the bar, it can be in the classroom,
Really?
or a meeting or a hall. After 10 minutes, do it again. And if for good measure, on the 12th minute, just do it again. If he doesn't do anything, dude, better na wag nyo lang isipin yung guy niya.
Hirap naman.
See, this is why I'm super manhid. Like, I cannot. Like, you could be doing that all fucking night and I wouldn't have a clue.
Oh,
But
for
that's
guys,
if it's
I
a
think
guy
for
to
guys
a
like
girl.
Timmy and I, isa lang, puta, gets na namin. Gets ko na yan eh.
Of course.
Puta,
Of course.
kahit hindi pa umabot ng 2 seconds yan eh, yung gaze na yan, puta, ayari na. That's it.
Sige, let me just give a bit
Okay,
of
okay.
context. Because I remember
Sorry,
like me and Rika,
sorry.
I remember like
Okay,
I
go.
had this conversation with Rika wherein like, we were talking about like if we like a guy, like what
Okay.
happens. And I was telling Rika, well, you know, if I like somebody, I just kind of go up and just say it. Like, you know, I like you. And then
Okay.
bahala na siya, like whatever he wants to do with it. But you know, it's just putting it out there. And like Rika, you were kind of saying like, oh my gosh, I can't do that.
I can't because I want it, for me lang, parang, I want it to be a mystery and make pahabol pa some more. Like,
Yeah, that's fun.
I mean, and then like do the reveal in person.
Yes.
Diba? Or something like that.
Very good.
Because I would be so like if I told somebody like, kunyari, Rob, I like you. And then I'll run away. I don't know, parang I wouldn't know what to do with myself. You know, parang I haven't tried it kasi.
Try it. It's super liberating. You just kind of go, what?
No, just say hi. I think saying hi is a big deal. Hi.
Yeah.
That other guy will feel better.
This is pick up naman kasi what you're saying. And what I'm saying is like, for example, like you know the person and then you kind of like them, but then you don't
there's
know if, like,
already a relationship like ongoing. Yeah. There's invested not time. Well,
From
you
a
know
man's
what?
point of view, I think a normal way would be, okay, landian, dating already, date 1 has happened already. And then the progression, this is the roadmap. And then, syempre, kissing muna. But now that there's COVID, medyo mahirap yan. Diba? And then eventually you'll get into sex. Okay. Don't say anything muna the first time you do it. Diba? Don't say anything muna the first time you do it.
Don't admit you like each other.
Oh, because maybe you don't. Mali mo. Parang karpintero pala kumain yung si Guy. Walang table manners. Diba? Get to know him more.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why
Yeah,
I'm
but I
kind of
think
like,
for
if the
women, because it's
context is like,
difficult, diba? You have
yeah,
to be patient until you say it. I think you have to be patient first before you say it.
I like lang naman. I'm not saying love you. I said like you.
True.
Yeah.
I
Maybe you
think
should
time
let your
know,
actions speak na lang.
Like I
Make your
am
time
actions
attracted
na
to
lang speak
people I
better.
haven't caught
Because
feelings.
for men kasi, they complicate things with their mind sometimes.
they do. Parang they don't nga eh.
Exactly.
Anyari. Anyari
You're back.
sis.
You got stuck.
Okay.
What do you mean, guys? Complicate things.
Yeah, like
guys can complicate things.
like if we say we like you, and then
Do you know
you're
what?
gonna
Instead of saying that you
complicate
like him, I don't know, kasi men have commitment issues. Is that just me? I think not naman just me. A lot.
Based on your experience.
So instead, show na lang that you like the person. Like
Really?
being nice to them.
Uh-huh.
Parang
These things.
actions speak louder than words.
Yeah,
kind of
because
thing.
you wait for that. I think it's better. I think it's to your advantage as a woman.
Nawala. Advantage as a woman.
Yes, and it's your advantage as a woman for the guy to say it first.
So
he
dapat
likes them?
guy first.
Yes, and kasi guys want to be the one to spill the beans first, because it enters the realm of a proper courtship. I think no, this is for me, because it's still within the realm of a courtship, and if a woman says it first, there's a good chance that you're stealing the thunder from the guy, and the courtship already is. Parang, where is it now? It's ended. Does that make sense?
I guess. Because I think I don't know. Because my point of view is I'm kind of manhood when it comes to whether or not a guy likes me. So I can't tell unless you put it out there. Oh, we lost Rob. So like I for me, like I can't tell whether or not a guy because I've hung around guys all my life and I can't tell if you like me or if you're just being nice. Right?
Really?
So for me, yeah, I'm super manhead. Super.
Wow.
Like another person has to tell me, like, I think blah 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 likes you, and I'm like, really? Hindi, ano lang yan, tropa lang yan, like whatever. So I cannot for the life of me tell. Because I just think that the guy is just being nice. That's just how guys are. They're just nice. If you grow up with guys caring for you,
it's like
unless
it's like
either out.
Yeah. Guys wouldn't be extra nice to you unless they liked you. Liked you.
I don't know. I grew up with guy friends. So, they all take really good care of me. And I'm like, so I'm coming from that. Like, I can't tell if they're making me lande. Because if for me, they're just being nice. Whatever.
And they don't have any feelings for you whatsoever. As in
They
brother.
They treat me like a little sister. Yeah. Other than, or they do like me and I just can't tell the difference. Again, this is what gets me into trouble.
I think so.
So in my head, I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to tell a guy if I like him and then just back away. I'm just going to treat you the same anyways, but at least you know how I feel about you. Right. And then like, if
that's complicated.
If right, and then if you want to do something about it, then do something about it. If you don't want to, then that's cool.
Okay, as a man, I would advise against that.
Because for me, I'm like, how would I can't tell. Serioso, I cannot tell.
Then he should prove, he should show it more. He should be more.
Like there needs to be something verbal out of his mouth that says he likes me. If he's just dropping hints, girl, I cannot pick on that up. I swear.
What if he touches you? Obviously, what if he hugs you or he touches you?
I'm happy too. Have you met me?
Yeah, and you say I love you to everyone. So parang, how do you tell if the guy loves you?
Right. So I know even if he's like serious about it, I love it. Yeah, dude, I love you too. Cool. Whatever.
Oh no.
Right?
Rob advises against that though.
Oo nga eh. So Rob, what's your advice for somebody who's super manhood like me. Like I can't tell if you're hitting on me, if you're just nice to me, if that's just how you are in general. Unless you're handsy and I don't like you, then I'll take the hint. But other than that, I can't.
Stuck na naman si Rob.
I know. I'll read no muna Timmy's thing. He says, I think time is your friend. I think time is your friend. If the end goal is a serious relationship, the more you know about the other person, the stronger the foundation will be. So don't rush things. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So really, friendship is the basis of any survivable relationship or survivable romantic
believe
relationship.
that so much. I mean, especially at my age now, and after talking to guys trying to date and stuff, parang yeah, I want to do the friendship route. Hello.
Having us building up on a strong foundation of friendship for sure. Hey
For
Rob,
sure.
can you hear us?
Yes.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So I was asking you for advice earlier. What advice do you have for me, like a female who's just manhood in general in terms of male attention?
A fee for a female to get male attention?
No. Like for me, like I can't tell if a guy is into me or not unless he says so, like prangkahan. Like if he's just dropping hints and making pa cute, I can't tell the difference.
Well, give it time. Give it time.
More time pa.
Yeah. Sorry, how long na ba?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like I can't tell.
There has to be some time. There has to be a progression. No?
Yeah.
I think. So there has to be progression and there has to be some time. So don't rush into things, diba? Huwag naman yung, I like you. Do you like me? I don't care. That's so hard.
Grabe ka naman. Di naman ganun.
That's so hard. No. But I'm saying if you do it first as a woman, that might be a bit complicated.
Really? I mean, isn't that your whole like be truthful thing out the window?
No, parang it's more actions. It's your actions. You say it's with your actions.
Okay.
Kasi I think courtship is still like
It's enjoyable. Enjoy the courting process, no?
It is,
Yeah.
for sure.
Diba?
yeah, it's part of the habulan.
Yeah.
Oh,
It builds the tension and the anticipation for the actual
no.
thing.
Abulan, yeah.
The actual thing.
The actual thing.
Yeah. It
Yeah, you mean the relationship, right? The actual relationship.
well, yes, and I mean, let's face it, the sexual tension also, diba? That's also important.
True.
Chemistry. So all of that. All of these things are important. I think what women
needs to be
kasi yeah, it's like sometimes we think that women are this way because guys just think of sex and women are only emotions. But when you think about it, you're both. Like a woman is also a woman if she's able to embrace her sexuality and be herself in the bedroom. And same with the guy, diba? Parang a man is a man if he's able to be in touch with his emotions. So it's really understanding both worlds. Yeah, and balancing it out.
Yeah.
And just finding that person that you can be that way with, be totally free with, so that you
free.
can, yeah. So you can explore the
That's interesting.
intimate parts.
I like this topic.
Yeah.
This is a nice
When you're
topic.
free.
Exactly.
And this will help a lot of
I think
people.
we've over it a little too much. So guys, we're kind of over. So before we kind of, before we end this topic, can I just get advice from everybody of how girls can transition into that mindset of womanhood?
Advice to transition to the mindset of womanhood. Like what would you tell?
Hmm?
Go ahead.
So for me, just to have a life already that's yours. You know, like I said, have direction, take care of your health and your wellness, take care of your mind also, not just all your looks and your body, and be financially positive. And I think you're those things you do that every day, you're good.
Yeah.
You'll
Mm.
get better
I
every day.
actually I super just agree with what Rob said. Parang you really have to be your own. Um, you have to secure yourself as a woman. Yeah, be independent, but know that you can receive help from a man, but no, but coming from a place now you're already full. You're okay. Not because you need him, because you allow the help. Na parang okay, fine, you can help me if you want,
He
but you
compliments
can
you.
help
Agree.
you. Yeah, you can
I
help
agree.
yourself. Kasi
Mm.
it's admirable, 'di ba, when you see a woman that can stand on her own 2 feet, but at the same time knows how to receive compliments, help, assistance when she doesn't even need it. So I think that's
Mhm.
cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Great.
For me, my advice, I'm going to take a page out of Rita's book and learn to be a high value woman. So it's all about really looking at your theory of space, growing yourself mentally, emotionally, like do what interests you, read books, um, and just grow yourself, because the more value that you have inside you, the more value you can offer other people, and eventually, your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of it for us. Thank you so much. Rika needs to sleep. Rob needs to work. I need to go back to whatever it was I was doing.
All right, guys, thank you.
See you next
Nice
week.
topics. I enjoyed these topics.
Yes,
Bye
please
bye.
join us again
Practical,
next
very
week,
practical.
guys.
Oh, very
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
practical.